talk about it. Let's 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 talk about it. On the field.
Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited today with my guest, Miss Renee Reisch. I hope I said it right. And so I'm thanking you for listening today. And let me just pull her up. Hello, Renee. How are you?
I'm doing great, Vera. How are you?
I am great. I am just so honored to have you here today. And as our listening audience is pulling in, what I'm going to do is go to your bio and let's share with our audience a little bit about Renee Reich. Did I say it right?
You got it, darling.
Okay. Renee has cultivated and inspired individuals and teams for over a decade. You immediately feel her energy when she enters a room. After over 25 years working in corporate America, Renee decided it was time to hang up the corporate ladder. She started her professional training and speaking as an instructor for WHW, Women Helping Women, a nonprofit organization where she donated her time helping the unemployed and underemployed find their jobs. Renee has received numerous awards over the years for bringing her teams to the number one position. Both her years and experience in the corporate world have taught her that in order to move the bar and increase profit, you must first invest in people. After suffering a devastating illness that took away her voice, oh my, then a few years later, the loss of her best friend and then her father, Renee decided to follow their example to never give up. Now, that legacy is how Renee has chosen to live her life and help others, showing them that just when you feel life is closing in on them, there is always a way out. Today, Renee is a four-time number one best-selling author, speaker, and a transformational mindset coach and creator of the V.O.I.C.E. blueprint. She works with those suffocating in silence to find their true voice so they can express themselves with confidence and go from surviving to thriving. So, Renee, I am so happy that you're here. And what I am going to do is give you the floor and give you an opportunity to share with our audience a little more about you, your journey. How did you come to this point of doing what you do to help others?
Vera, thank you so much. I'm very grateful. And it really started when I was in corporate America and I was managing multi-million dollar teams, taking care of everybody except the girl who needed it most, and that was me. And I think in life, we often do, whether it's in our marriage or our job, we're just, we're doers. And in doing, I wasn't being or becoming who I was meant to be. And I ended up getting really sick in 2013 while I was taking care of everybody else. And I ended up in the hospital in the emergency room twice. And it was a sore that went from a sore in my throat, as opposed to a regular sore throat. It went into multiple sores all over my vocal cords. And I was taken out of work on a leave of absence for about 4 months. It was the most pain I've ever endured in my entire life. And it sent me into a very deep, dark hole and a depression. And people who know me know how upbeat and lively I am. And this was something very opposite of me. And the thing is, I didn't know how to get out of it. Like, I didn't know what to do, and doctors weren't able to help me. And that was the biggest struggle. When you go to Western medicine and they can't help you, then it was in like that survival mode and trying to get better, but not knowing. It wasn't like take a pill and, check back with us 5-10 days later after you finish the medication. there was nothing they can give me. And I was not spiritual at the time, so I can't say I did all this inner work or, I journaled. I didn't do anything. I just literally laid there, and I looked out of my window like a hospital window, and I didn't want to live anymore. I got in such a deep, dark hole. I just wanted God to take me away because I didn't know how to get out of the depression. I didn't know how to get out of the pain. I didn't know how to do any of it. And it was just, it was a discouraging time when you're in a place where you're stuck and you can't get help, and like you're screaming inside for help, but you can't hear your own voice. You can hear your voice because I had no voice. It was a virus that took away my ability to communicate. I had no voice and no sound through my vocal cords. And I was told as I lay in the ER I was not allowed to be with the public any longer. So I was locked away in my body in a hell. I hate to use that word, but it was a hellacious time where I didn't know what to do anymore. And I just, as I said, I wanted to leave. If I could have unzipped my skin and flown away, trust me, I would have done that. I would have done it. As much as I love my family and as much as I love my best friend, who's now my angel in heaven, as well as my dad is, I just wanted to leave. The pain was so great. It was
Now, when you talk about the pain from your throat, or the emotional pain, the physical pain, the mental pain, all of that?
What I was really referring to was the pain in my vocal cords, but I'm going to say something to that point. It was emotional. It was physical. It was mental. It was every which kind of pain that one can endure. I endured. It was every which way. I'm going to say the physical, obviously, because my vocal cords were riddled with sores. That was off the chart pain. And it was one sore that broke out into many, because when I got to the doctor, one day I went to urgent care and I told her I felt there was a sore, and she said there was one. The next day I went back and it had broken out into many.
So were these polyps?
No, they were actual physical sores that she saw all over my vocal cords.
Ooh,
and so she told my best friend, who was with me at the time, because she drove me the next day because I was in so much pain, I couldn't even drive. She took me back to urgent care, and the doctor said, get her to the ER now. Like right now, just get her there. She didn't even know what to do anymore. It was like once, or now it's like all over the place.
Wow.
I asked her how many I had, and she's like, I'm not going to tell you. Just get her to the emergency room. Like, what was this? Like, what was this thing? And I didn't know. It was a virus, which I found it was a virus that was highly contagious. And it wasn't just like, take this and call me in the morning. There was no antibiotic because it was a viral infection. So because it was not bacterial, there was nothing they can give me. It wasn't like I could go home and gargle, or, it was nothing like, or drink tea and honey. No, to anybody who has sores on their vocal cords, honey is not the thing to do. I love honey, but you don't put it on an open sore because it was like salt in a wound. So I had done that before I went there because I was looking for any kind of fix. I would have done anything. It's like looking for the fix. And so I took a heaping spoon of honey, and I literally thought I was going to fly through the roof. It was as painful as I had the pain before. It was off the charts. So don't do that if, in fact, you have anything remotely close, which I pray nobody ever has. It was, kind of unbearable. So bottom line, I was in the ER. He put this viscose, he put a mask over my face, a clear mask that had spray that would spray down my throat to numb it. But I wasn't going to stay there the whole, he just did enough to numb it. He goes, you got to go to your doctor. I'm like, this was on a weekend or something. And I did. And the doctor ended up taking about 20 vials of blood over 3.5 months, trying to figure out, peeling back the layers of the onion to find out what can we do for her and what can we give her. It was like nothing. There was nothing, not like nothing. There was nothing. And I couldn't believe that. I'm like, is this life? Is this the way my life's going to be? Because ultimately the doctors told me they didn't know if I would ever speak again. I was sent to a specialist along the 3 months to find out if it was going to be permanent damage. And quite honestly, I never thought that it was something that was a possibility, that it could be permanent damage. I just knew I was totally sick and I was in a lot of pain, but I never once thought that this was a permanent situation. I knew I was not feeling well. I knew there was a lot of things that I did know of because that was the feeling I had internally. But to find out that it could be permanent, then I was like, this is really something I didn't even, think about. And that was an interesting trip to go to see a specialist because I didn't know if I was going to come back as a mute in my mind thinking this is it. And someone asked me on a talk show once that I was on, do I remember the last words I ever spoke before I went silent? And I said, that's a great question. And I said, you know what? I don't. I have no idea. And something that I'm going to say to that, be mindful of what you say before you go to sleep. People say, don't go to bed angry. Don't leave somebody that you love angry. We tend to spew out words and feelings that we don't have because that we don't really have in the moment we have. And we get really angry and bitter and we just want to attack because we feel attacked. We feel hurt.
Yes. Hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people. But empowered people empower people.
Yeah.
So, empower and inspire others because I know that what we go through, we also grow through.
I love that. What we go through, we grow through. I love it. Yes.
We do. And at the time, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm growing through it. Like, really? I was in flipping pain. And the last thing I was thinking about was anything inspiring because I didn't want to even be around anymore. In hindsight, and I do say it's 2020 with or without glasses. It's something that I did grow through. And I continue to grow and not only be inspired by, others, but be the inspiration for others as well. Because it is something that I'm able to see in others. The word intimacy is into me, I see. And we get to see in others what we have gone through or are going through. And that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. You see something, oh, I recognize that.
Well, so let me ask you, how were you healed?
I'm going to say it was by the grace of God. I didn't understand what had happened, as I said earlier, that because it was such a dark place I ended up in, and I just I had to go silent. It wasn't a choice. I was forced to go silent. After running around taking care of everybody, I didn't have an opportunity to speak because I no longer had a voice. I'd wake up in the middle of the night crying, but wasn't able to hear my own tears of pain because there was no voice. The salt water was coming down my face, but there was no voice of pain to express.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Oh my goodness.
Even hearing myself say this is hard to fathom that I actually went through it. But I did. And as I said, it's something that I'm proud and honored to have a voice back today and to be a vessel to share because I believe I was put through this and it didn't happen to me because it happened for me because now I am in a different part of this journey to be able to speak about it to others and to help them heal from whatever hurt they're going through, whether it's a relationship, or work or something, a role they're in that's painful right now. Or something that they are trying to get through. And you can't do it alone is what I will say, because sometimes it takes a village and sometimes it takes one. And I had a best friend in this physical world with me who lives in my heart. And a dad who loved me very much, who also lives in my heart. So I am a spiritual gal today, and I do believe they're still with us in another way. And I know that because she was with me at that time in the physical world, that I had a support system. I wasn't able to see my mom or dad at the time. They lived further away, and she lived around the corner. So she would come with me to my apartment at the time with a mask on, and she would cook kosher chicken and bring things that she thought I could eat when I couldn't even swallow my own saliva.
You couldn't. So what could you eat? What could you eat?
Nothing.
Oh
food was not something that was on my agenda. Because when you can't swallow your own saliva, you're not like, oh, let me see, maybe I'll have, whatever. I'm more of a chicken and fish kind of gal. But anyway, yeah, I definitely food was not a priority because when you can't swallow your own saliva, water, it was not tea, soup, it was not any of those because everything hurt. I mean, a lot. So it was a matter of just surviving, a survival mode.
So let me ask you. So you feel it was the grace of God and a miracle that brought your voice back. And
He
once you,
having my best friend as a support system in my life because she knew I couldn't eat, she knew I couldn't drink, so she would make things that she said maybe she could get this done, maybe she could get that done, and it was. I wrote about this in the book that I wrote. I know we'll talk about that in a minute, but it was having her in my life and someone who doesn't give up on you, that to the degree that you start not giving up on yourself, and someone doesn't want to lose you and you want to be there for them even though you can't be there for yourself, that you don't want to leave because somebody really believes in you and knows that they want to be here for you and knows that you're here for a reason. I don't know that she knew it then or that I knew it then, but I know it now. And I also knew that she was there for me
and
and
see,
got to
that
be
is
there for people.
that is so important to have that kind of support, and especially when you're sick or when you're going through stuff. People don't understand, and being kind and gentle with people that are going through. I know what it means to have to be there for someone. I was there for my sisters and my mom during their sickness. So I say, thank God for your friend that was there to help ease your emotional pain, if not the physical pain that you were feeling. So let's talk about this book. You want to pull it up? Yeah, Finding Your Voice. So
Yes.
I love that cover. I do. I love your cover. So
You know what?
let's talk about finding your voice.
So there's the metaphor
Okay, we
because
have a
I
guest.
would,
We have an audience member. Hello, Maddie. I'm so glad you're here. Please share this show with other people because this is really can be encouraging. She says, God is able. Yes, He is. Yes, He is.
yes,
He's able to do
thank you, Maddie, for
exceedingly
being here.
abundantly above all we can ask or imagine. And He did it for Renee.
He did, and yeah, finding your voice is the metaphor because I believe that losing my voice was because it was fear of judgment. It was people pleasing. It was never feeling like I was enough or could ever be enough. It was low self esteem and low self worth, looking for outside validation for the inner self worth. All of those things that I didn't really know were going on within me came through in losing my voice because when you're trying to take care of everybody else, as I said, and you don't have that self-esteem, my best friend used to say to me, she was, why do you need that piece of paper like at work, say that I was number one in the district or the region or the company, because I was a manager and I brought my teams to the number one position. I was great at that. I was great at motivating and all of those things. But what about taking care of me?
Well,
I always said, I have to do this. I have to do that. This is due. This is due. I need to take this, take care of this, take care of that. But I never took care of the girl looking back at me in the mirror.
Well, let me ask you this. Doing all those things, was that to validate yourself, to get others to validate you? Is that what caused you to excel like you did because you were seeking that approval and seeking the accolades because you didn't feel it within yourself?
Now, no one's ever asked me that, and I've been on a lot of shows. That is probably true. I would say yes. I would say, not knowing it at the time, Vera, now knowing what I just said, I would absolutely say yes. Because if you
Totally.
feel this, great question.
Yes. Maddie says, sorry, correction. God bless you. And hey, Vera, yes, thank you. Please share. Tell people to come here. They need to hear this story. Yes,
Thank you
thank
for
you. Thank
sharing
you,
that.
Maddie. I love you. Maddie and I grew up together. We've known each other for 50 years.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Ah,
Well, she don't even look that old, but that's
yes.
great. Thank you,
Thank you,
Maddie.
Maddie.
So
Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I want to acknowledge our guests as they come on and they share. Okay,
absolutely.
so
So I believe that. I believe that because I was always like looking for that, not realizing that I was, but an outsider could see it. So my best friend, even though we were, we're so connected, but she saw it happening. She saw, she said, why do you need that piece of paper? She said, I don't need that. I know what I've done. I know what I do, and I know I'm good enough. Why do you need that? It's like, I always wanted to strive. I'm like, no, I could be number one. If the company was this, and I want to be better than company, and I would beat company and then country and region. I just keep going and pushing and pushing and pushing. And I pushed myself almost 6 feet under because
and
I
again, because you didn't feel that self-worth within yourself, you felt that you needed to get it externally. But in order to get it externally, you had to work yourself sick to get it, and so that's a
yeah,
lesson within itself and a teachable moment for people to understand. A lot of times we want, and I can understand and relate, because you all, I mean, and that may well be your love language as well, wanting praise and accolades and wanting approval. And I understand that. I understand it because personally, I can feel that I've gone through those things myself, wanting to be the best, do the best, so that people will recognize what I can bring to the table. And that's exactly what you were doing, that just ran you down.
100%, Vera, 100%. And what I realized, as I said earlier, hindsight's 2020, with or without glasses, is that we are all enough as we are. Perfectly Imperfect is one of the chapters I actually wrote, is called Perfectly Imperfect, because just showing up as you is enough. And something else I say is, when you show up to life, life will show up for you.
I love
Just
it.
being you.
I love
And
it.
it's important to show up to life because there are people around you who love you, who appreciate you just because you're here, not because you did this or you won this or I don't need somebody that's got all the awards. You don't want to need people. You want to have them come to you organically, and because they see value in you just because of who you are, of
Yes.
what you are just naturally,
Yes.
not because you won an award or you did this or you did that. What happens when we leave this planet? Do we go with our awards buried underground? Do we go, whether we're cremated or buried? Do we bring any of that with us? What do we have with us? We bring ourselves. We bring our contributions to who we've served and what we've done and who we are. Not the car, not the mansion, not the jewelry, not we bring us, our heart and our soul.
And
That,
that reminds me of a quote that Eleanor Roosevelt said, that I turned into a poem that I want to share, if you don't mind.
I do.
Eleanor, Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Small minds discuss people, average minds discuss things, great minds discuss ideals." So I wrote this. Small minds, the kind, sit around and gossip all the time. Who's doing what? Did it win? Not the kind that I can call a friend. Average minds discussing things, houses, cars, material gain. Great minds move the earth, discussing things of value, of worth, ideologies of past and present, realizing dreams with the mind's consent. Great minds, it takes one to know. These minds help all minds grow. And that's, you're a great mind. You're a great mind. And
Oh,
you're teaching others and showing others how they themselves can be great minds. And one of the things that Maddie says is, choose
yes,
your friends wisely.
absolutely. And you know what? This is really interesting. You say, thank you, Maddie, that you said a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, because in my chapter 11 in the book, I took a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt,
Did
and
you?
I did. You got to read the book. And
Okay, but tell me what the quote is. Just tell me what the quote is.
I will share that because you did. It's the chapter's called "The Road Ahead," and it says, "You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. And it's very true, because you gotta go, go through your fears, walk through that fire, which is not fun. And now today, I actually am doing my own quotes. If anybody who follows me, if you're not, you can start following me on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn.
Yeah, and I've actually put a
My
couple
reels,
of
I do
quotes.
reels every day. I do my own voiceover for the quotes, and I just put my own quotes out there every day. So it's to inspire and uplift other people, and that's what it's about. So, and I have now, my book has gone into an audio version. It's not on Audible. It's on there's an audio, and so when you go into my IG, you'll see the link tree on there, and you can just click on all the lovely things I have there. And also we have my website, which I know you have, and that's got some great opportunities too. So I've got a Finding Your Voice Facebook community, Finding Your Voice network, which I'd love you to join the Facebook community, and then you can be part of the network as well. Just a lot of great things, and looking forward to even more greatness in rounding out the year and going into 2023. So there's a lot of wonderful things that lie ahead, and I love you all to be a part of it, because it's finding your voice. As I said, it was the metaphor for really finding my own voice. The physical loss of my voice in life, I do believe, manifested from the metaphoric loss of my voice in life, being that people pleaser, fear of judgment, all of those things that I mentioned. The metaphor came into being in my own body and losing my voice because I wasn't living out the truth of me and serving the way I was here to serve. It wasn't in retail that I was supposed to be helping other people. It was in life, and it was in helping them find their own voice. And so what I did is I created a voice blueprint, which takes people from vulnerability. It's an acronym, from vulnerability to empowerment in the journey of finding their voice. So each letter stands for another word.
Tell us what those letters stand for.
So it's vulnerability is the V. So we walk through what that is, because you got to be able to be vulnerable in finding your voice. You got to release the stuff that's holding you back. And there's stuff probably from childhood that's in there that we're living through as an adult that we keep getting triggered on. And it keeps coming back because we've never released it. The different people might come in your life, yet that same story keeps showing up again and again and again. And until you release it, you're going to keep reliving it with different scenarios, like a play that keeps playing out in your life. And there's going to be different characters that come into your life. People say, how come I always have the same relationship, the same kind of that comes up? I keep going, because you never released what was holding you in the first one. And why do you keep getting the same kind of job, or the same kind of thing keeps happening with a different scene, but the same kind of outcome? Because you didn't release it. And you don't even know that it's there, because until it keeps showing up again. And what we see is that those scenarios will keep showing up until you address what you're here to address. And then you can release it and move on into a brighter day. You can do that. Because our brains keep going. And what's the familiar, that reticular activating system, that RAS system in the back of your brain that keeps going to that comfort zone, the uncomfortable comfort zone is what I call it. And then there's that's the V. Then the O is owning your voice, taking ownership of it and stepping into your voice, your true voice, and then igniting that flame and being that inspiration, not just for others, but for yourself. And the courage and confidence that goes with it is the C. And then the E is empowerment.
And I'm putting it in the chat so people understand. So vulnerable, taking ownership,
inspiration, and igniting that flame from within, courage and confidence,
inspiration. Okay, wait. What did I do? Okay, vulnerable.
And then you've got ownership, inspiration, and igniting that flame is the I. C is courage and confidence, and E is empowerment. So it's the journey of finding your voice. And I do that. I also hold workshops every 3 weeks. I've done one on forgiveness, on courage and confidence, on trusting your voice. I have another one coming up on repressed emotions, another workshop on suppressed emotions. So please get in touch with me. You'll be part of this whole big group that I'm, keep growing in the Finding Your Voice network. I would love you to join that and to be part of this, because it is about trusting our voices. It is about being there for each other, with each other, because we all go through things in life, but it's being there to help each other grow through those things in life. And that's what we do, and helping you find your voice, no matter what level you're at. And we all have those opportunities, and I'm happy to help you in that journey, whether it's a corporation that is looking for a speaker, whether it is somebody that wants to connect with me through any of my links. Happy to speak with them. The book is a great opportunity for them to also journal, because I'm going to share with you in the book. The chapters are real short. It's a very thin and powerful read, and empowering read. One of the chapters is Old Habits Die Hard, so that's a good one too. They're about 2 to 3 page chapters. And then I have what's called takeaway. Here it is. A takeaway section where you can actually write down, I leave like 2 to 3 line pages for you to write down the answer, so you can actually date it, and it becomes an evergreen tool for you to use and utilize. So you can see, like, on October 18th, 2022, how did I answer that question? Then 2 months later, 3 months later, a week later, where am I now? How would I answer that question today? Because quite frankly, we don't give ourselves enough credit from where we've come and how far we've come, to where we are now.
Absolutely.
So it's a big difference. And I really want people to see their own growth, and they can, when they get the actual physical book, to see their own journey and to keep using that as a tool. There's a gal I met on a Zoom call, as we've Zoomed so much the last couple of years with the pandemic, as this is being shown and recorded on your show here, Vera, is that, you have the opportunity to meet people. And I had this opportunity to meet a gal, and somebody had referred my book to her, and she said, Renee, I have your book. And I didn't know who she was. And she said, I have so many books at home. Yours is on my nightstand, and I do an exercise every single night.
Wow.
And how much, she said, it's helped her in her own journey.
That's awesome.
You don't know, like, your book is out there, and you don't know who's doing what they've done or going through with it. And she said how many books she has. This is something that's powerfully served her personally. And it was in Barnes & Noble for a long time, and Personal Growth and Development with Jack Canfield. It was right with his books, and hold a copy from the Today Show. They got with right next to it. I was really thrilled to see it there.
And we're going to have to pause for a minute, because I do need to acknowledge a couple of my sponsors. So let me do that. I'm going to run them all at the same time, and then we'll come back and continue this conversation.
If you are a business owner or entrepreneur and you're looking for a way to share your mission, your purpose, your products and services literally with the world faster, safer, and easier, making your brand accessible to millions from the comfort of your home, well, I want to encourage you to join our Learn How to Start a Podcast and Monetize It class. Why? Is because this was designed for entrepreneurs like yourself as a platform to provide you with the knowledge in order to not only start a podcast, but successfully launch it. And then the third key, which is helping you to understand how you can monetize your podcast. As you are impacting the world with good, you can also build multiple streams of income from this one podcast and share your story, mission, and purpose literally with the world. So on today, I want you to go ahead and click CoachTinaRamsey.com to join our podcast class today.
Yes, one more.
$1 million maker.
become reality today with Ms. Mac Marketing. 848-236-5026.
So check out Ms. Mac Marketing and CTR Media Network Group. Thank you guys for being my sponsors. All right. Now back to our guests and let's talk more. We talked about the book. Now you have several books, right?
I was actually in a collaborative book. Yes.
Okay. You have a
Yeah,
copy of that in front of you?
I don't have that one here with me. I'm visiting my mom right now, so she's got some of my books here.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah,
pray
so
all is well with your mother.
she is. She's doing great. She just celebrated her birthday yesterday, so I'm here with
Oh,
her. Yeah,
awesome. That was
yeah,
my
yeah.
brother-in-law's birthday as well.
How nice,
Yeah,
nice. Yeah. So yeah, I was in the Global Achievers book as well. That was a couple of years ago. So that was a collaborative book with others, and I was happy to be a part of that. So that
that's
was from around the world.
wonderful.
Yeah. Oh
That's
yeah,
wonderful.
I was asked to be one of the collaborative authors. So I was very pleased with that, and I'm happy to be part of collaborations. I love that because, as I say, we grow through what we go through, and it's being in those networks with other people that you can continue to grow and lift each other up. So I'm always happy to collaborate, and I
Yes.
love that.
And a lot of times we feel like we got to do things on our own, but collaboration and networking is so important. As a matter of fact, my guests last week were talking about your network is your net worth, and
Absolutely,
Colleen
100%.
Boggs. And so, absolutely. And it sounds like you're definitely doing that, meeting people and getting on different platforms and doing and showing and sharing your talents, your gifts, and what God has done for you. Just sharing that story. Um, and Maddie says, Vera, you do have a platform for the community. I dig it. I want the podcast info. You got it. You got
Yeah.
it. I will definitely send you that information.
Yes, and Maddie, I hope to connect with Maddie as well. Yeah, you all my information is on the
Well, I put it
J-
in the chat so that she
you
could
got
just
it.
copy it.
And for the show notes too. Hopefully that people will be able to get that. Great, because
Right.
lots of opportunities to
Yes.
connect. Yeah,
Yes.
I'd love to join the Facebook community and see that the Finding Your Voice network opportunity as well. So lots of great things there. And as I said, I also do courses every 3 weeks. I have those coming on. So anybody that would like to join any of my opportunities, I would love them to be a part of it because it's some, as I said, the different workshops I've had are really, really powerful. And I have people speaking on them. It's not just me teaching something and people taking notes. I don't want that. Everything I do is a collaborative effort. So it's very interactive. So they get to speak, share their voices. I give tips and tools, and they get to speak about their experiences based on the subject matter that we're discussing. So it's a great opportunity for people to meet and connect and to grow from each other as well and learn.
And
And
she
that's what it's about.
says, yes, I have it. So she's already cut and pasted your information that I put in the
Mhm.
chat. So you
Yes,
can look for Maddie Hunley.
I will. And also on the link tree, there's also an opportunity if people like to get the book to listen to it. I like them if they can get the physical book because it has those opportunities to write down your answers. But some people like to listen to a book. So it's not on Audible, but it is on Awesome. So when you go onto the link tree, you'll see it says the audio book and you just click on that and that's there too. So it's like
Okay,
a supplement
awesome.
to how they can get that. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let me also ask you now, I know that you've received several awards. You received in 2021 the Message in a Bottle Award for sharing your message of love and using your voice to educate, inspire, and empower women around the world. And in 2021, you also received the Humanitarian Award for All Women Rock. And you also received the WAW Honorary Award, Women Appreciating Women Hall of Fame. That is awesome. That is awesome. Congratulations on those things.
Quite frankly, I'm going to tell you, because we talked about awards, everything early on, none of those were things that I even knew about. People saw what I was doing and then nominated me for something. So it wasn't like I was in corporate America trying to
Right.
get this.
Right. But because you were in corporate America putting forth all that effort, you were seen. People saw you, therefore they wanted to recognize and honor you. And that's the beauty about awards. Awards are not things that we seek out. They are
That's true.
things that come to us because of the work. And there's a song, a gospel song that my mother used to sing that says, "May the works I've done speak for me." And so the work that you've done spoke enough for you that people wanted to give you those awards. So it's not something that we seek out, it's something that comes to us, like you said in one of your quotes. And I even wrote it down in the chat because I thought that was a great quote. You said, when you, let me find it, about life, when you
show up to life, life shows up for you.
right. And see, that's what you've done. You've shown up for life, so life has shown up for you. And so
Yeah.
I love that quote. I love it. When you show up for life, life shows up for you. I love it. I love it.
You can see all my quotes every day. So I do reels every single day. So they're posted. You'll see them.
And
Just
you do reels on Instagram?
I do reels on Instagram. I have reels on Facebook. They're out there every day on TikTok also. I'm on every social media platform. I just name it. I'm going to tell you I'm there.
Okay, so that's wonderful. And being consistent, and that's my issue. Being consistent. You're on every day. Oh my God. That's wonderful. Every day. You're on every day.
Sunday through Sunday. Yeah, Sunday through Saturday. I'm every single day I do posting.
Now, do you schedule a specific time to do that, or?
So I post I'm not going and speaking to everybody every day. I'm actually doing my inspirational quotes every day between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. Pacific time. They get up there, they're up there on social media. So you can see.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
We need this, Vera. We need this in today's world. We need
to without doubt. Without doubt. I mean, because people are suffering. And all this hate that's going on now, we've got to show love. We've got to be loved. We've got to let our light shine so others can see the God in us and understand. And the thing is, and I know this was not a topic that we had talked about, but all that vile and all that negativity, it makes people sick.
Well, Vera, we didn't say but this is what happened when I was in corporate, and that's how I ended up getting sick. When you're not, that sayings, you can't see outside the picture from inside the frame. You can't see the forest from the trees. When you're running through life, you don't get to see anything because you're running. And when you slow down and you just kind of stop and have gratitude for where you are.
Yes, gratitude.
Then you are grateful for what you have, and you can actually see more because you are grateful what's here and what's now and who's in your life. And it doesn't mean you stop, trying to do the next thing, but you're not always next. You're like, let me enjoy the moment, and then let me take a next step and a next step and a next step. And keep surrounding yourself with the like people to help you get to where you need to be. And I say like-hearted people because you want to be around like-hearted people. Sometimes if you're not in the right mindset, you don't want to be around somebody else that's not in the right mindset either. So like-minded may not always work, but like-hearted will work. And then you can be around to up-level you and to help you get to where you need to go next.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love it. I do have one more commercial that I need to play. So let me do that right quick.
Hi, my name is Kijano Owens. I am co-founder of Success Express Marketing Solutions. our business is cultivating more business for your business. I want to tell you real quick about our program that is one of the most comprehensive business development online marketing support programs out there, which is the VASP, VASP, Virtual Assistant Support Program. This system allows you to operate and run your business while we help monitor and help you cultivate more business for your business online. Contact us at 909-686-1698 and visit us online at successexpressmarketing.com. Look forward to helping you take your business to the next level.
Yes, successbusinessmarketing.com. Yes. Okay. Now, let's come back. We still have some time, and I want you to just kind of share more about your journey and the impact that you're having on people's lives.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say thank you for having me here to express my voice and to be able to share it with people who need to hear this message. And it is to never give up. So like I said, I've created this Facebook community, and it's grown to over 800 right now, which I'm really proud of, to have these wonderful souls join me on this journey.
That is wonderful. And you just started that, but I do want to recognize another.
It's been since I launched the book, which was February of 2020.
Okay.
So from February to 2022, it's grown to over 800. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Let me acknowledge another listening audience. Hello, Keisha. She is my niece. Thank you so much for joining us. She says, hi, Aunt Vera. It's Keisha. Yes. Keisha, thank you. I just spent a little bit of time with her, not enough, but a little bit of time with her coming back from Ohio. And I did find what I had asked you to look for me. So I want you to know I got it. So, okay. Well, thank you very much. Now we'll come back. I'm sorry, but I'd like to interject and acknowledge people that have taken time to come and share with us.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I did interrupt what you were saying. I'm so sorry. You were giving some nuggets to our audience and sharing with them.
Yeah, just to never give up and to take inspired action. Never give up on yourself, to believe in yourself, and to, be that vessel. Like I think about Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. This comes to me all the time. I actually did a quote recently that I posted with that. And it was, about the fact, if anybody doesn't know the Wizard of Oz story, please Google it. It was a great story. And that she was thrust into this land looking for a way to get home. And along her journey, she met the scarecrow looking for a brain, and he was really the smartest one of all. And then they came across the Tin Man looking for a heart, and he had the biggest heart. And they came across the Cowardly Lion looking for courage, and he had the most courage. And then she had her companion Toto, which was her support system. And then Dorothy was trying to get these ruby slippers from the Wicked Witch of the West, because she was told if she got them and she put them on her feet and she clicked her heels 3 times, she would find her way back home. And then when they would get to Kansas, this big man Oz would give them each what they were looking for. Yet when they got there, it was a long journey there. There was this little man behind the curtain, and Toto pulled the curtain back and saw this man that was projecting his voice through this big microphone that was echoing. He was like the great Wizard of Oz. And really, the moral is that every single character, as I said, had that within them. And each of you had in you what you are seeking for outside of you.
Yeah.
The confidence, the courage. What happens is many times throughout our journey of life, we lose it because of different things we may have been told by a teacher or somebody that you thought they were a friend and they were really holding you back instead of supporting you in going forward, or in a relationship, someone that made you feel bad or insecure or less than, or a teacher that really didn't teach you but put you down along the way, or somewhere along your journey that somebody disempowered you and you believed them because they were an authority figure or someone you knew, liked, or trusted. And it took away your power from within, because we don't come into the world disempowered. We come into the world in a way that we are here to be empowered. And yet on our journey, we meet people that may take things away from us. And it's finding our way back home to ourselves. It's the
Yes.
journey of coming home.
Yes, and understanding that, as Eleanor Roosevelt also said, no one can make you feel inferior without your permission. And so
Absolutely.
when we encounter people that try to discourage us, that try to make us feel less than, one thing you can do is remove yourself from them and recognize your true power. Recognize that God given gift that's within you to do the things that God has intended for you to do. And I do want to recognize Gary. Thank you very much. It's Gary Stanford. And, I had a teacher. You talked about teachers discouraging, but I had a teacher that encouraged. In fact, I write because this teacher was so encouraging to me and so supportive of me. And it really made a difference because I was around those that were discouraging and not lifting, but let's focus on those that do lift, that those do
Absolutely.
encourage, and those that do let our light shine. And so
Yeah.
for those of you that may be, and Maddie, she says, amen, amen. For those of you that may be around people, I call them, as Zig Ziglar would say, stinking thinking people that need a
Yeah.
pick up from the neck up. You need to remove yourself from them. And it may be friends, it may be family, it may be a neighbor, but just, know who you are. But more importantly, know whose you are. And
Mm.
it was Renee's recognition of whose she is that gave her the power, the strength, the courage to move forward in her life to make a difference in other people's lives. And we are so grateful for you and for you doing the work that you do.
Thank you so much, Vera. It really is a gift. We don't realize that there's different instruments out there that people may play, but the biggest one is your voice. And it's the way you use it, the way you speak to others, and just
And the way you speak to yourself.
well, that's exactly it. That was the next sentence. It's not just how you speak to others, but it's the way you speak to yourself, because the self-talk, the limiting beliefs, the discouraging words that you say, you've got to turn them around and have words of encouragement. And the word encourage has the word courage in it. Within
Yes.
that word, you can encourage others, speak your truth, be your own cheerleader, surround yourselves with those like-hearted people, surround yourself with the supportive people. And it may not always be your family, it may be others, it may be the family, the friends who are like
I
family.
love that. And I want to recognize this is someone listening from South
I
Africa.
know her, I see her.
Kiki, thank you so much for listening. Thank you
Oh my,
so much for listening.
yes, Nitsiki, thank you. So it's great to see you here. That's wonderful. Yes, we were connected, so that's great. It's about the journey of being around those wonderful people, and you've got to really be mindful of the talk that's around you, the naysayers, and don't play in the sandbox. If someone says something negative, don't keep playing back and responding back and forth. No response is also a response. So if
Absolutely.
if
Absolutely. And
something
I want
negative
to,
to it.
exactly, but I want to kind of touch on that for a minute. It depends. Like you don't want to, it takes two to argue. So you don't want to
Absolutely.
find yourself debating someone that's coming at you from a negative perspective.
Correct.
However, if you do see someone that's hurting others through the words that they're saying or bullying or any of those, that is the time to speak up. And that
Oh,
is
yes.
the
Oh,
time to
yes.
actually share what it
Yes.
is that you
Absolutely.
feel about that. Because being silent in that case is
No.
condoning. And
Absolutely.
so,
Yes. No, that's not where I was going. I was saying if you're in it's two people, you and somebody else, then you're going to keep going back and forth, and it's going
right,
to be friction. That
right.
yeah. If you see something, say something that's not right. Absolutely, you got a voice, And you don't want to just watch something happen and stand by idly and not speak up, because that person may not be able to share their own voice because of something that they are going through. And you're like, wait a minute, that's not cool. You got, don't treat them like that, and stand up. And that's why people need people around them saying, don't talk to her that way, or him, or whatever that is.
Yes.
And I was bullied in school, to your point, Vera. I did have experience bullying in school, and I didn't speak up then. And I think my not speaking up and losing my voice years later may have started then, when I was pushed around in school as a young girl. And why was I bullied? I'm thinking because I didn't fight back, and they thought they could. There were the girl bullies in school who saw the young innocent girl that, like, let's push her around and see what happens. Oh, nothing happens. She's not going to fight back. Well, there were more of them. I was the one walking with my book, so I didn't go into the next class. Maybe they felt like they had issues, and I didn't know this at the time. I was not in the space I am today. And that they were trying to act out because they couldn't get the attention at home. So they went to school and started pushing people that they could around who didn't do that.
Hurt people. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I didn't, as I said, I didn't know that then. That was the younger self. Right. Now there's the older, wiser. And just because you're older doesn't mean wiser. But I've done a lot of the inner work. It doesn't mean that's over, because I'm always going to keep doing the inner work to get the better outer experience and to share with others from those places and experiences in life, to help them also grow through what they're going through.
Yes, yes. And Maddie, she says, hey, coming from me, South Africa. I am going to South Africa oh my goodness. I have friends from there. I will get with you when I return. Maybe we can create something for the air on your platform. I would love it. Oh yes, take plenty of pictures, videos, and all that stuff. Awesome. Enjoy South Africa. That is wonderful. We'll talk, Maddie. We'll talk. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to say something. This is really interesting, Maddie, because I've been trying to get my book to Oprah, because she's got her school in South Africa. And I'd love to get this book to her girls there. I don't know how to make it happen. Like, how am I going to get to South Africa? And I would try to reach Oprah in different ways, but she doesn't know who I am at this point. Hopefully she will. But really, yeah, I believe her leaders in South Africa would love this, the girls there. And I didn't know how to get the book to her.
Well, Tasiki might be able to help you with that. Who knows?
Maybe.
And I don't know where you're going to be in South Africa, but maybe you and Tasiki could even get together while you're there. But I know South Africa is a huge country, so but who knows? Well, thank you, Maddie, for that.
Oprah, if you're listening, I'd love to get this book to you and to your girls in South Africa. Because I believe Oprah really, when she was a young girl growing up, that I believe that she lost her voice when she went through rape and molestation, and she was a news anchor on TV. There were times that I feel in life that she lost her own voice and had to find it, and she did in such a wonderful way. And now she's serving and helping so many others across this entire world. So I don't know how to connect with Oprah, but I would love to, and to share this book with her along the journey of helping others find their voice in life, because it's so important, and so many people could be helped from the loss of my voice, that others can help find their own voice. And as I said, more the metaphoric loss of my voice in life.
Yes. Well, you know what? We have ran out of time. I can't believe the time is gone. I think Tasiki is in Johannesburg. I do. I think that's where she's from. I'll send you her information and you can connect with her, Maddie. And she says, I don't know, Oprah.
However we get there, we'll get there.
Right. Manifest it. All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for being on my show. And you shared some great nuggets. You shared, your passion, your purpose, and we appreciate it. And I'm just hoping that all your wishes, all your dreams, all that you want to accomplish will come true for you. You're already on your way. You're already doing it. And remember, finding your voice. My audience, I want to say to you, get her book. Go to the website. I put it in the chat. And before I leave, I do want to mention that, as you know, I was handpicked for a contest, and this Thursday is the last day to vote. And today they're doing a special where you vote and you'll get 2 votes for 1. And this particular contest is financially supporting the National Breast Cancer Foundation. So
Wonderful.
let me just throw this in the chat right quick. And please, not only vote for me, but share it with others as well. And then I'm going to be saying goodbye, but let me pull this up right quick for you to consider.
While you're doing that, Vera, I want to say thank you for having me as your guest. Come and join the network and Find Your Voice on Facebook group. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be sharing my voice with you and your audience. So
Well, thank
grateful.
you. Thank you. Well, thank you. And thank you, listening audience. Please go vote for me. And we will see you next week. So thank you for listening. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. The Vera Thomas Show. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk